G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is the 27th of the 9th, 2017, and the time here is 20:57 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Okay, well, as I said, I won't be posting that often anymore, doing videos, unless there's something really important. Well, there is a couple of important things that I'm going to show you. One of them is on this this video here, Neil Oakley. Neil's in Liverpool, in England, and as I've said before, there's three people that you really need to be watching as regards to their videos. And these are people that get out there every single day and do this stuff, and that's Neil, Seven Spalding in America, and Jody in New York State, I believe. Not that I'm slagging anyone else off or anything, it's just that they do a video every single day and they usually know what they're filming and they usually capture something magnificent. This video here from Neil is just simply superb. And the reason I'm showing it is because, yeah, the trolls and the debunkers are going to have a field day with this one, folks, because, you know, this is the start of the video and Neil tells you, you know, exactly what they're doing. Obviously going through the thing. I'll turn the volume off. A sec. Go through it. Oh, sorry. Just look at this, folks. They are just smashing the crap out of England at the moment, and you start to see as Neil's going through this, they're obviously trying to stop something, stop you from seeing something. That's the only reason they're doing this now. Well, that's a good spot to finish that at the moment. And what Neil's saying is that pretty well every single day in England now, they're just smashing the crap out of the air. Now, what I'm going to show you now is just staggering. Now, obviously the title is Judgment Day, Two Suns Rising. That's Neil's video. Now I'm just going to press play and let's just watch this and try and debunk this, anybody. Neil's just said, it's not our sun. And look at the bottom of your screens, folks, and that's the sun. Yeah, bit of a bombshell moment, eh? You know, like, just what is this up here? It's not from this, because this is actually not, the glare is not coming from behind the clouds. Cast your eye over to the left over here, and you'll see some objects over here as well. Very clear. I'm not even going to test, don't even have to test it to see it. They're sitting there, you can see it. And this is our sun down here. Now I'll show you something else, hang on a sec. Okay, this image here is from Neil's video. This is a screenshot. Now, this is inverted. Now, as you can see, there is no correlation between the top and the sun at the bottom. No correlation at all. There's thousands of kilometers between the two, with no connection from the sun to that at all. And as I said, in just watching the video, you can actually see the objects sitting next to the sun, and sitting next to whatever this is up here. And as I've said there, note the clear gap between the light sources. This is its own light source. This is the sun. Or is that the sun and this is the object? Because to be honest with you folks, I don't know anymore. And I don't think a lot of people actually know either. But as you can see there is absolutely no correlation between these, whatever these are. Whether that's the sun or this is a sun, whatever. But there is nothing connecting the two at all. And as I said, you can easily see the planets or the objects that are there. In actual fact, there was three there. 1, 2, 3. Another one there. Another one up here. There's actually, I realise there's another one just there. 2 more over here. Like, they're everywhere, folks. Whoop. Okay, moving on. All right, folks. This is a video that's doing the rounds at the moment from a fellow called Jeff HK. It's a combination of 80,000 photos on a time lapse that he took because he works on a boat or a container vessel, and it went from I don't know, Saudi Arabia, somewhere like that, down to Hong Kong, where he got off. And on this boat, you know, he left the camera outside and took all these images. Well, I've been through the video, and there is stuff on there that I will test later. But excuse me, what I'm going to show you now is something very pure and very simple that backs up what I just showed you from Neil. Okay, I'll just go through the photos. This is sunrise. Okay, have a look up here. You can see the objects up there already. Now this might get a little confusing because I was swapping and changing between the things, but you'll get the idea of it. Okay. Look how bright that is, folks. Okay, this is where I swapped and changed. Sorry, I didn't realize there was actually 3 stills on this thing. So Let's go again. And there's the sunrise. Whatever that was coming up, because it wasn't the sun, right? That's the original photo there. That shows you the sunrise as the sun's coming up. Then watch this. Like I said, I didn't realize there was 3 in this thing, so I ended up taking 2. Look at that. Has anyone ever seen a sunrise like that? And before anyone writes in, shove aperture and extra exposure up your jacksie, because that's a load of rubbish. This is just pure 100% extreme light. Once again, have you ever seen a sunrise like this? That's how the sunrise started, and then it all went pear-shaped, because you can even see the pink in the picture, this picture. It's bigger, it's massive, bang. And there's the sunrise. Amazing, eh? And has anyone ever seen a sun that looked like that? And once again, you can shove any argument you've got about the camera lens or whatever. That's just bullshit. Just bullshit. I'm sick of hearing it. Okay, 1 second. Okay, well, not only did this Jeff HK capture that once, he actually captured it twice, and this is the second time. So here we go again. Look up to the top here, you can still see the stars. But look down the bottom here, and it's like we're looking at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So let's just go through this. Anyone ever seen a sunrise like that? Oh, you can't make this shit up, can you, folks? And it gets brighter. And that's sunrise coming up. Yep, it's hard to believe, folks, but it's actually true. If you don't believe me, look over here to the left and watch the times as I go through them. "6:45, watch. Yeah, it's not the time in the morning, that's the time of the video, 6 minutes. And this is supposed to be showing us the sunrise. Look at that. Is there any moron out there who wants to actually go toe to toe in a debate about lens exposure, etc.? Because I tell you what, you are on a dead horse to a flogging. And that's the sunrise. That's what I remember growing up as a kid. That's what a sunrise looks like. It sure as shit didn't look like this. Okay, this is more or less the last frame in the whole video from Jeff HK. Look up here to the sun. Now, if I circle that, the sun's here. But, you know, this doesn't take rocket science to work this out, by the way. That's the sun. And it's not even that full circle. So it's about there, if that makes sense. Then you've got another extension going out here, which is actually not even the same width as the actual sun. Then when you look behind it, you've actually got another one there. And then when you look behind that, you can see that there's another one just there. But then when you look behind that, there's another one as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suns there, folks. If you doubt me, actually take the time, let your eyes adjust, sit back, and you can actually see 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, there's 4. Oh, sorry, 5. If you take into account the fact that this one's coming out here at a 90-degree angle and going that way. So what the hell is just going on in the world at the moment? And once again, okay, let's talk lens refractions, etc. This guy's no mug. He's got an absolutely shit hot camera. Otherwise, he wouldn't. This is actually filmed in 4K, by the way. Look down here to the right. So this is no dipshit with a Nokia camera sitting on a deck somewhere. This is a bloke who's actually got 100% full-on shit hot gear and knows what he's talking about. So how can a shit hot camera get a lens refraction 5 times? Please tell me. There is no argument, folks. That is not going to happen on a fantastic lens. Matter of fact, that's why they make them, because they are fantastic lenses. Anyway, moving on. This is from Pete WDHCO, his channel, and he released a video today explaining all about how the sun's, well, it says it there, we are supposedly in a solar calming, the sun going to quiet mode. Well, nobody told the sun. And this is dead set 100% true as well. Scott from the Nibiru channel has shown you this a couple of times, and I've done a few numerous tests on it, and they've all come back positive. I'm not going to test these. I'm just going to show you so you can actually see for yourself. Now, if you can't see what I'm showing you, expand your screen up a bit. But here's the explosion, obviously. Now, if you look in there, you can see there's something in there. Notice how this is a very dark black spot. I don't know what that means, but it seems to be very prevalent. There's a planet just here, and there is a massive great planet just here. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, but I'm going to back that up. So watch this. Just look at this area here, just here. See that object there? Now, if you step back from the screen just a bit, you'll see another planet here, and you'll also see in the background, if you let your eyes follow it, that object is still in the background there. Like I said, there's a lot going on in this picture, so you have to sort of sit back a bit and let your eyes see it. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. This is the explosion before it's happened, okay? Several objects here, another one here. Look, where my cursor is, clearly see those. Several more objects here. Now, that's the planet that I was showing you just a minute ago, the little one. There is another big one just here. that you can clearly see. And like I said, help yourselves have a look. Now, look at the size of this thing here. You can clearly see that object, and it is huge. It truly is huge. Now you can also see this one here, that is just as big. Now, that there is that object, if you look in the background there, that I was saying about before, and that thing is monumental. Like, it is humongous. And if you look down here, you'll see as this explosion travels over this area, there is another one there, just in the background. You see the shadow of it. And if you look down directly down here, there is also another one down here. If you, like I said to you, if you step back from the screen, you'll actually see them better. This here is the one that Scott found a couple of weeks ago, and I found, did manipulation on the image and found it. This one here, and then there's another one there. These things are huge, folks. They are absolutely massive. There's actually another one just here as well. All right, let's just say, for example, let's think of whatever a dipshit troll would think. Okay, well, it's solar winds or whatever you want to call it. Okay, well, I can go for one, but I'm not going for 10. Oh, look how many there is here. Look, there's this one here. There's that one in the background I told you about. There's this one in the background I told you about, or the foreground here. This one in the background. There's 3 here. Actually, there's 4. One at the background there. This one here, just at the front of that one in the background. This one here, that's 3, and there's another one in the front of that, so there's 4. Now look at the size of this thing at the background here. This is huge, you see. Like I said, sit back, look at the screen. I don't make circles on the screen, folks, and I don't think Cactus does either. And these why is there countless circles on the screen in the background? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 just there, 5 here. And if you look down here, look at the size of this thing down here as well, 6. And you're wondering why the sun's kicking off. And you're wondering why they're lying to us. Well, I've just realised that that is another one there. So you got the size of this thing here, and then there's another one right next to it, which is just as big. Just ridiculous, isn't it? Now, if you ever look here, there's another one here as well. See that? It's clear as anything, folks. And if you cast your eyes up here, and I was saying I could prove it, look at that one. It's still there. And this is a different explosion. There's also one there. There's also another one there. There's also some here. There must be at least 10 of these things sitting around. And as the doctor said on Planet X News, that you can't see these things because they don't emit light. So the only time we're going to see them is if we're sharp enough to find a cactus image or a Soho image. These pictures actually give vindication to Scott, because this is the one up here that he said wasn't there, or everyone said he said was there, and everyone was like, oh no, it's bullshit. Well, Look, folks, it's clearly there. It hasn't gone away. It's still there. Not only that, this explosion here, which happened on the 9th of the 6th, clearly shows at least 10 of these objects. Now, unless someone can write in and tell me that this explosion, when it happened, created centrifugal circles in the sky for some unknown godly reason, then I'm not buying it. These things are real and they're there. And you can actually see them. If you just lean back and have a look, it doesn't even take that, it's not that hard to pick them out. Look, what would be the reason for being able to see that? That's a solid object. You can see it's a solid object. That's no cloud. That's a solid object. You can tell that because of the way the clouds are going over it. Oh, the reason I picked this one is because you can actually see a circle inside there. And there it is again, look. That thing is about quarter of the size of the sun, whatever the size it is. You can clearly see that. It's bloody huge. And the reason I picked this one as well is because you can see the circles. One there, one there, one here. You can actually see the outlines of the circles before the explosion. Well, there is that one again. Look, you can actually see it there. And before anyone writes in, bores me to death with rubbish, watch the winds. Look, you can actually see that these are blowing over the face of that object. There is no two ways about it. It's hit the front end. You can actually see where it's streamlined off the planet. Look, you can actually see it streamlining off the planet. And like I said, that thing there is about a quarter of the size of the sun. And the only reason we're seeing them is because of these massive explosions. Okay, this is the interesting bit. By a gentleman called Mark. Now, this isn't the image that he sent in to me, obviously. I'll come out of this actually. One second. This is the image here. I've actually saved it as Dave, but it was actually Mark. Made a mistake. And at first I was sort of looking at the outside. Now, if you look down here, this is a classic case of prominence. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's one of the few times that you can actually see it properly. Because prominence is a result of the air gases on the sun building up and creating this big vortex, and it literally collects in this big gas ball and then sort of just releases, and it comes off the sun in this big, like a storm, like a tornado type thing. That's about as best as I can explain it to you, and that's a good example of it there. These here, unfortunately, are not prominences. These things are huge, and they are not prominences. See in the background there? Look, they're everywhere here. But look, we all know now that there's stuff next to the sun. Look, I could show you this stuff till the cows come home. But what I want to draw your attention to, and hopefully enlighten and enliven you, or illuminate you, is this image here. Now, when I first started looking at this, I didn't think much of it, and then I realized there was something here that was staring me in the face, but I didn't recognize it because I'm not an avid. Look, folks, astronomy bores me to tears. I don't sit looking at screens all day, like Scott and etc. They enjoy it and they do well at it. I give them as much backup as I can, but it's not my bag. I don't like it. I don't look at it. I'm an Aussie kid. I grew up with the sky. I worked outside all my life. I'm pretty sure I know how to get around outside better than most people, but apart from the Southern Cross, Orion, and a couple of other things, that's about it for me. Which you might think is kind of odd doing what I do, but I suppose in some respects it gives me a different eye view of what I'm looking for. Now, what I'm going to say, or what I'm going to show you, some of you will see and some of you will not. It's as simple as that. What I will suggest is, when you've finished watching this video, if you didn't get it, then listen to it again at the end here, obviously, and then listen to what I'm saying and follow the conclusions that I'm getting to. And hopefully after a little while, you'll understand what I'm saying. This is obviously a solar or a CME that happened recently. I'm not actually sure when this picture was from, which is pretty bad, isn't it? Could have happened yesterday for all I know. Like I said, this here is being pointed out by BP Earthwatch, as massive CMEs happening, all over the sun, causing these big dead spots on the sun, etc. Great. More stuff to worry about. Okay, had to go and get the power saver on. As I said, some of you are going to get this and some of you aren't. But what I'm hoping this is going to do is put to bed once and for all the nefarious bullshit that goes along with people looking at this particular image of the sun and the Sohos and the Lascos and the cactus, etc., and everyone telling us that there's nothing there. So I'm hopefully going to put this to bed tonight, and yeah, well, obviously that's not going to happen, because you always know when you do a good thing when the amount of morons start pouring their emails into you, which is fine. They can do that all they want, because I don't get any notifications anymore, thanks to YouTube, because they cut off all my things. So troll away. I don't get them. I think that's hilarious. Okay, here's my train of thought on this, folks. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, not really understanding. I understand what I'm looking at, CMEs, etc., sunspots. But there's something that bugged me, and that was the fact that this side here, this here, did not look like the rest of the sun. Well, for someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, mainly about the sun, well, I suppose that's not too hard to understand. But my point of thinking here is, if you look around here, you look around here, you look around here, anywhere else, it kind of matches. This doesn't match, does it? Then what I started to do was started to really look into this picture. And then what I realized was that this is an explosion, obviously, or a light flash, if you like. Then, if you look here, these two trails, I'll try and bring it up for you. These are trails coming out of here, this one and this one, going down here, and obviously flowing across. So they've erupted out of there, and as you can clearly see there, they're attached to this, and they've come out this way. So they're being blown across this way. But like I said to you, that's not what I'm looking at. The second thing is that you can clearly see that this is a shadow. That bit there. This must have been blown out at the first instance. These have come out in the second instance. Now, this is where it starts to get tricky and technical. So let me transfer this over, because I'm going to do this live as you watch it. So hopefully you can get what I'm looking at. And here we are. Okay, this is on the GIMP program now. So let's have a real good look at this. If I shift this up and down, the color spectrum should change. That's pretty understandable, isn't it? Well, have you noticed there's something really weird about this bit here? All this, it's jet black. Now you do see the odd bit here and there that obviously goes through. Now this took me a while to get to know this, understand this, okay? So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Obviously when these blew out, they went over here this way. You can see the spread of those, okay? But that's still not what's important. I'm going to show you what's important in a second. And this is important, folks. Now, what I'm going to show you is, you're going to go, you got to be shitting me. But this is true. I didn't make this up, and you're looking at the live image, or me doing the live testing. Follow these streams of gases, because they go across here. This is important. You can see one going across this way, and you can see this one goes behind something and comes out here. Well, look at this here, folks. Look at that big circle there. And there's another one here. And there's another one here. And there's another one here. So in actual fact, there's four big circles. You can actually see them quite clearly now. I showed you. Look, 1, 2, 3 at the back there, and 4 here. And that's our friend with the dimple. Little planet with the dimple, what we call the dimple. Sit back from your screens for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Have a real good look and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, what took me a while to figure out, I couldn't figure out these here, because if you watch how I do this, they actually change color. That's what threw me, and that's what made me realize there was more than 4 planets. or one planet, because I could clearly see this one, but I couldn't see the others. And see this here? That is that gaseous stream going behind this one, coming out the back of that one, and going in front of this one. That's why I got confused. Now, someone's going to say, oh yeah, but there's other red things on this and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, fair comment. So let's go through that. See that there? That is a direct reflection of this. There's no other indication on anything around here of anything else that it could be. You obviously can't see the reflection of this one because the gaseous cloud that goes across this one here at the back and at the front. But on this one, you can clearly see the reflection, and that brightness there is as bright as that. And it's up here again. Does that make sense? Hope so. Now, it doesn't end there, folks. Give me a couple of minutes. Then when you really start to look at this picture, you start to realize that we have a very serious friggin' problem. Even when I darken that up, you can still see these images. Now, hopefully that you can see them. The reason they haven't tried to hide them is because they hid themselves. They don't emit light. They only need a reflection. But unfortunately, they weren't backing me, someone like me, to find them. So what you have here is a cluster of planets sitting directly in front of the sun. There's no denying that, folks. Look, there's one there. There's another one at the back. There's another one just there, the dimple one. As you can see, the planet just here. And as I said, sit back, let your eyes look properly, and let your eyes illuminate you. And this is the other one. And as I said, that one goes behind this one, and this one is actually going in front. You can see the actual gases going across it. This here is actually the gases coming out the back end behind that planet, coming out here. Okay, I said there was more, so here we go. You can't see it too good, but you can clearly see that there's another bloody huge one down here. It's covered up by this, I don't know what this is. Someone sent it to me. So then you can also see the other planet right next to it. But folks, that is another one there, and that is definitely another one there. Now, before anyone says anything, planets, obviously there are planets around the sun, but they're not supposed to be this close. That just doesn't happen. Now, can I make it better? Or can it get any better or worse? Whichever one you want to choose, I guess. Oh, don't forget, you've still got the size of these things around the sun. This thing here is exactly the one that I showed you on the cactus. Look at the size of it. There's no denying that, folks. It's there. You can't debunk that. It's physically there. So let's keep going through this, because this is going to take a while for you to understand the full implications of what I'm showing you. Apart from the fact that I might be crazy. But that's a whole nother story. When you really start looking at this picture, and I'm hoping that a lot of you do, and I'm hoping that a lot of you send it to people and say, you really need to start looking at this picture. Look at how many planets there are, folks. I've highlighted them on another one, so I'm going to show you anyway, but I'm just hoping. There you go. Look at this thing here. Look, another one down here. Look at this. There, there, then the one there. They are literally littering the place. Now, I didn't put them there, and I'm just showing you what's there. Look at the size of these things, folks. Now, this is all in one system. This is what's coming for us. Look. They're not prominences, because look, I'll show you. Look, they're not changing colour, folks. The only reason they're changing a little bit of colour is because of the reflection coming off the sun. These things are sitting way out in front of the sun. Look up here. There's so many, I couldn't count them all. Look. Look. They are literally everywhere, folks. Look at the size of these ones in here. And these are all part of this system. It's got to be the biggest bombshell moment for me since I've started doing this, to be honest with you. I don't usually get that perturbed, but, you know, like this one here, for example, you know, these are huge. This is huge. These are humongous. Incredibly, you know, it's just incredible how big this system is. Everywhere you look, there's planets. Look, down here. And as we go through, I'll change the color spectrum and you can see for yourself. Look, folks, look. They are literally everywhere. This system is as half the size, if not more, of the sun. But look, come on. Look how many there are, folks. Look, this thing is dragging, like literally dragging half the universe with it. Have a real good look in this section here. Look, just how many there are. They're not on the sun, folks. They're in front of the sun, miles in front of the sun. Look how many there are. It's just incredible. I couldn't believe it. And the sheer size of some of them, look at it. And to anyone who's saying, okay, well, maybe it's prominences, maybe it's not, maybe blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe it is. But not all of them, not all the time. And like I said to you, if you have a real good look at this system, Sorry, I'll go back to the original picture. If you have a real good look at this image, then you start to realize that this system is this big. Like comes around here, goes back up there, and look, you can even see them when you're not even trying to find them, folks. Because if you actually have a good look at what you're looking at, how many times do you look at these images and not even take any notice of what's on the surface or what's in front of you? Because if I expand this up, have a real good look at what's there. Look, folks, these things have been here all this time and we haven't even noticed them because we haven't even really looked for them at the sun. You want to know why the sun's kicking off? It's because of all these things that are floating by it at the moment. Well, look at the size of this thing here. Look, look. That is nothing more than a massive object. Here's another one. Look, just let your eyes adjust to what's there. Look, there is just massive grouping after massive grouping after massive grouping of objects all over this side of the sun. Look, here's another one up here. Another one there, another one there. And it's when you get down to this area here, that's when you start to realize how big a problem this is, because you obviously can't see these that well when they're over this area. But if you follow your eye across this area here, let it come out to the periphery, and then you notice that these objects are there, but they're not actually on the sun. See how high, how far up that is from here? Then you start to realize that everything that I'm looking at here is actually going past the sun. Just look at the size of that object there, folks. Now remember, the Earth is like a pinprick. So how big is this thing? But that's not the real issue. So cast your eye across the periphery, like I said, and you start to realize that there's the sun level, which is down there, the greenish color, and then this thing here is actually moving across the face of the sun, but at a distance. So let's get back down to this. And that image is dead set in front of you now. There's no denying that now, folks. It's there. That's 100% there. I didn't make a circle in the sky, and it's not ambience or prominence, sorry. And as I said to you, if you follow these explosions across, the gas goes across and comes out at the back of this planet here. See the object there? Look, you can see the circle. Follow my cursor. Look, you can clearly see that object there. And then you can clearly see that this comes behind, gets obstructed there, and comes out the back there. And that's the same color as that to that. This one here is different, whereas it comes across the front of this object, but doesn't go fully over the object, and you can see it at the bottom there. See it? Look, same as the top. This is the big object, or bigger, biggest, bigger. Look behind it, and you've got another one there. That's the dimple planet. Now, if you come down here, remember I said this comes out this side, you can clearly see that there's another object there on this side. And then if you have a real good look, you can actually see another one in the background there. But like I said, do your own research and have a look. It's there. I'm telling you it's there. I didn't make it up. And for anyone who's saying, oh, you can see through it, you're actually not seeing through it. What you're actually seeing is actually stuff in front of it. You can't see through planets, folks. That's just not possible. Well, this is the ones that I've found so far and I circled. And if I'm going to dedicate this to anyone, it's got to be to Scott from Planet X News. And the reason I'm saying that is because he's been banging on about this, him and the doctor, him and Claudia, and to Claudia as well. Folks, you can actually say whatever you want to say, but he's right. And he's been right for a while now. And he's going to be right all the time now because I'm showing you 100%. Look, you can clearly see that there's a planet there. This is before I realized what I was really looking at was these two, you know, that there at the bottom, that's that coming through at the back of that planet. Because when you look at that now, you can clearly see the other planet there. Hang on. If you follow the circle around, your eyes will adjust to it. And then there's the bigger one at the back. And then there's the dimple one up here. And as I said, then you've got these other ones that are there. And then you've got this one down at the bottom that unfortunately I can't show you 100% properly, but it's there. It's definitely there. And then obviously you've got the ones around the side. But this system is moving across. It's gone past the sun. It's gone past and it's now heading our way. See that colour there? Matches that colour there. So that tells me that that's picked that up just as an explosion on the far extremes of it. Why it hasn't done it on the other ones, I couldn't understand that. It's because of these gaseous clouds that went across or were going across at the time. But like I said, let your eyes adjust and then you can actually really, really start to see what's going on. Okay, folks, well, look, I've rambled on for nearly an hour, God knows how. Like I said, I thought this was really important. So that's why I got out there. Look at the size of this thing. This is just unbelievable, folks. Look, you can clearly see that. Look. And they're not on the sun. They are miles away from the sun. How far? I don't know. Like I said, this much I do know. They're there. And once you let your eyes adjust, like I said, you can actually physically see just how many there are. And now that's black in the middle there. You can actually see another one there, which I didn't realise was there before. And that is just as big as the one at the front. That's interesting. I didn't see that before. And you notice how it doesn't, these don't change colour. They stay dark. It's the background that's changing colour. But how big is this system, folks? Like this system is just monumental. It takes up nearly the whole face of the sun. So the trick is not to try and over sharpen it type of thing. Just let the picture speak for itself. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I was saying about the reflection? See that colour there is sitting on the side of this? That tells you that that's a reflection from this to there, which is the first one. See? Same colour, same colour. Same colour here. These are the gaseous clouds. That's the cloud coming up between these planets at the back of the first one. So Scott, you can rest easy, mate. We found them. Or we found it. Look at that. They're just huge. Well, folks, as always, I usually end with the Lord's Prayer, but I read something recently that really resonated, and I thought, what a better time to read it than now, especially after what I've just found. And this is from Luke 21, 26 to 31. And this is how it goes, or this is how it reads. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Near. Pretty interesting, eh? Anyway, folks, God bless. Prep out.